We have start. Nous avons le départ actuel.
Some of the most important things about triathlon to me are the challenges it presents in life, not just physically, but really a total package of hurdles we have, mentally and just, personal determination and things like that that really make it probably one of the unmatched challenges in life. I originally was a swimmer, and I got into the sport when I was at the Naval Academy. My older brother was the captain of the tri club, and he actually made me try out my freshman year. And I didn't really like it at first until the end of my sophomore year. I had a great race at Collegiate Nationals, and I kind of decided that I could do something great in this sport. But I think it's that pushing yourself to limits that really drew me to the sport. And problem solving in the middle of the race was something that I really found to love, and that's why I've kind of been drawn to the longer course racing. To me, that's what Ironmans are about: problem solving. Everybody's fit, but the guys that are going to win are the guys that can handle all the situations that come out. It's a long day, 8 hours out there, and a lot can go wrong, and you just have to be on your toes and be ready to play the game. Problems out of racing, a lot of it can be nutritional, especially in long course racing. For instance, at Ironman Texas, I missed my special needs bag, and you had to recalculate your caloric needs. You have everything down to a science. Everything's dialed in. A lot of it can be the competitors in the race. Who's doing what? Where do you have to be? Texas is another great example of that. I knew Nico Lanos was going to be the guy to watch, and I needed to make sure that at all points, especially in the bike, I was near him and had him in check, and he ended up winning the race. So obviously he was kind of the guy to look out for. But there's a lot of variables, whether it be competition or nutrition or mechanical problems. But together it's a big puzzle that it's kind of a good time to try to solve. When I served in the Navy, I was part of the EOD group in San Diego. That's Explosive Ordnance Disposal. And those guys basically handle bomb diffusions, whether it be in harbors or now a lot in Iraq and Afghanistan with improvised explosive devices, roadside bombs, things like that. I think having a military background has been a huge advantage for me in the sport of triathlon. There's definitely a lot of similarities. I think that's why you see, triathlon is one of the few sports that has a military division, a lot of races. But just, I don't know if it's a personality type, a lot of times it's those type A personalities. Overachievers, but I think it's that work ethic and determination and your willingness to not give up, no matter how much you hurt, especially out there in a race. They seem to coincide with each other. There's always failures in life, I guess, and in triathlon too, and I've experienced a lot of those. When I originally started the sport professionally, I was focused on the Olympics. I lived at the Olympic Training Center, was on the national team, and everything was focused around getting to Beijing. And I didn't make the team, and that was a failure for me. That was a big goal for me. But I learned a lot about myself, and I hadn't quite gotten to the level of running that I needed to get to. Unfortunately, I had been seeing the progression in my training. I just ran out of time before trials. And a lot of people would have packed it in at that point, but for me, I knew I was still capable of achieving great things in the sport. I kept plugging along. In 2009, my run, it arrived in the scene, and now I'm considered not just a swimmer, but a runner in the sport. So that perseverance and overcoming those obstacles is part of the joy in the sport. In a race, it is a complete balance of your emotional and physical states, and especially in a longer race, you have to stay within yourself. You can't get too excited. When I defended my ITU Long Course Championship last year in Immenstadt, Germany, I was leading the race a couple K into the bike. I was in the perfect position, and I dropped my chain going up about 18% grade. and I lost over a minute. I couldn't get started. I needed someone like in the Tour to push me up the hill. So, but after that I charged along, I caught up the leaders, but I got too excited and it took too much out of me. And I ended up fading at the end of the race. So it's really a balance of all your overall energy use, and not just physically, but emotionally too.